the rustle of papers as they're shuffled through the courtroom. Christine perches at the plaintiff's table, her hands quivering a bit as she stares down at the grain in the wood beneath her fingertips. On the other side of the aisle, Kody Brown slouches back, his jaw locked tight, arms folded across his chest, the same stubborn posture which once made him appear so confident now causing him to appear defensive. Robyn sits in back of him, attempting to mask her concern with a hard-won calm, but occasionally her lips tremble. Janelle and Mary sit in the second row, two women who once shared Kody as their husband, now nothing more than observers to the storm that has been brewing for so long. The bailiff's voice slices through the tension. "All rise." The judge walks in, an older woman with a stern face and eyes that appear to penetrate through every soul present. As people settle in, the burden of silence becomes more oppressive. The title of the case rings out in the hallway: Christine Brown versus Kody Brown, Petition for Modification of Custody, Emotional Damages, and Financial Misrepresentation. Narrator, gentle tone. It's funny how love can become evidence. How memories that were once sacred can become exhibits for the court to review. The judge starts. Voice neutral. "Mrs. Brown, you're asking for a modification of custody of your children, as well as openness with finances in the family trust. May I have your reasons to the court?" Christine stands. Her voice trembles at first, but levels out as she speaks. "Your Honor, I devoted 26 years of my life to a family I thought I believed in. I raised children, shared houses, shared hearts, and shared a dream. But somewhere in the process, that dream turned into his control." She directly addresses Kody. "And I will not allow that control to dictate my children's destiny." Kody's eyes get small, his face constricting like a thundercloud. "Control?" he growls, loud enough for the microphones to catch it. "You walked away because you craved attention, Christine. Don't stand there and play the victim." The courtroom stirs. Soft murmurs ripple through the audience. Christine's lawyer steps forward. "Your Honor, we'll be presenting evidence that Mr. Brown withheld joint family funds, manipulated property titles, and used emotional coercion to maintain power over his wives." A collective gasp runs through the gallery. Even Robyn squirms. Christine returns to her seat, her heart racing. She glances toward Janelle for support. Janelle gives a small nod, an unspoken display of solidarity. For so long, they'd both lived in emotional isolation. But now, sitting here under the bright fluorescent lights of the courtroom, Christine feels something she hasn't in years: validation. Kody's attorney stands up, standing tall with a crisp voice. "Your Honor, what we have here is not a fraud case or case of emotional abuse. What we have here is a woman who's upset about a broken relationship using the courtroom as her platform." Christine squeezes her eyes shut hard, repressing tears. But she's no longer weak. When she opens them, her face has hardened. Narrator, tense tone. Kody's word had been law in their homes for years. But in this courtroom, one voice might turn it all around. The first witness is Janelle. She crosses to the stand, giving only a quick glance toward Kody before taking the oath to tell the truth. Her tone is steady, but there is a quiver under her command. "Janelle," Christine's attorney starts, "did you ever feel compelled by Mr. Brown to remain in circumstances you found emotionally destructive?" Janelle pauses, then nods. "Yes, we were threatened with destroying the family if we left. But sometimes, remaining was the thing that destroyed us most." Kody's attorney objects. "Speculation. Sustained," the judge responds, although her eyes flash to Kody for an instant. Robyn has had enough. "That's not fair," she says softly yet too loudly. "You all left him. You deserted the family and now you're blaming him for it." Christine speaks to her, her voice shaking with rage. "No, Robyn, we didn't desert the family. We just quit worshiping a man who forgot what family was." The judge bangs the gavel once more. "Order in the court!" The hearing goes on, but the emotional heat keeps rising. Christine's attorney lays out bank statements indicating missing money from the joint trust. Every paper is a painful reminder of betrayal, dates and transfers with Kody's signature alone. Kody appears shocked for a fraction of a second, then recovers. Those were legitimate expenses. Family business. Business? Christine mutters out of turn, but the microphone picks it up. Or just Robyn's new house? A gasp of shocked breath runs around the courtroom. Robyn covers her face with her hands and quietly weeps. Narrator, serious tone. There are times in court when truth slices deeper than any verdict. And this was one of them. As the papers mount, the judge inclines forward. Mr. Brown, did you share these transfers with your other wives? Kody's attorney begins to speak, but the judge holds up a hand. I want to hear it from him. There is a moment of hesitation from Kody. His confidence is shaken. The courtroom pauses. Cameras pop in the press box. At last he says grudgingly, No, Your Honor, but they weren't their business. It was for family investments. Christine stares at him in shock and dismay. Family investments? The ones where a single family profits? The judge makes a note, her expression inscrutable. This court requires complete disclosure of all financial records involving the Brown family trust. Kody's attorney objects, but it is too late. The order is issued, narrator, emotional turn, softer. For Christine, the moment was a small triumph, not of vengeance, but of truth at last being recognized. But she knew down inside that this was only the tip of the iceberg. Because with each truth revealed comes another secret in danger of surfacing. As the hearing adjourns for the day, Christine stands quietly. Reporters crowd near the doors, shouting questions. She doesn't answer, just keeps walking, her heels clicking against the marble floor. Janelle catches up. You okay? Christine exhales, her eyes wet. No, but I'm getting there. Behind them, Kody storms out another exit with Robyn close behind, her face red from tears. They're destroying everything, she whispers. He doesn't answer. For the first time, Kody Brown, the guy who once ruled over 4 households, appears lost. The camera pans up over the courthouse steps as the sky darkens. The once harmonious sister wives family is now separated by walls of truth, pain, and paperwork. Narrator, low cinematic voice. The first day of court was over. But the war for the Brown legacy had just begun. Because tomorrow, a witness would emerge with a secret they never saw coming. The courthouse is different the next morning. The air is heavier, denser with the weight of curiosity and silent fear. The reporters cluster by the entrance once more, cameras flashing as the Brown family emerges from their vehicles. Christine stands tall, but the fatigue under her eyes gives away the sleepless night she's had. Kody moves quickly, jaw clenched tight, dodging every question thrown his way. Inside, the judge takes her seat, her voice steady as she says, We will continue with testimony today. Counsel, call your next witness. Christine's lawyer stands, a slight smile tugging at the corner of her lips. Your Honor, the plaintiff calls Mary Brown to the stand. The room goes silent. Kody's head comes up with a jerk, shock crossing his face. Robyn's hand comes out to him, but he brushes it away. Janelle's mouth drops open in surprise, whispering to herself, Mary? Oh no. Mary rises slowly, her movements measured, calculated. There's a weightiness to the way she moves, as if each step toward that witness stand is a betrayal in disguise, wrapped around layers of honesty. She fiddles with the microphone, breathes deeply, and addresses Kody straight on. Narrator, soothing, uncomfortable voice. Mary was the quiet one for years, the faithful wife, the silent sufferer. But sometimes the silence gets too big to handle. The attorney begins gingerly. Mary, can you explain to the court what you know about the family trust and Mr. Brown's financial management? Mary swallows hard. Yes, I can. She glances down at her hands folded in front of her, then up again, her voice shaking just a little. I was present when the trust was written. Kody explained to us that it was written so everything would be equal, so that each wife and each child would be secure. But that didn't occur. At some point, the papers were altered. Kody grumbles under his breath. That's not true. Mary keeps going, pretending not to notice him. The signatures, they weren't all ours. At least not mine. I never signed the second revision, but somehow, my name somehow ended up on it anyway. Gasps spread through the courtroom. Even the judge leans forward. Christine's attorney holds up a folder. Your Honor, we have evidence to back up Mary's claim. Forensic testing verifies signature discrepancies. Kody's lawyer immediately objects, but the judge allows the submission for review. Kody shifts in his seat, his eyes darting toward Mary, pure disbelief painted across his face. You're lying, he says, voice low but cutting. After everything we've been through, you'd stab me in the back like this? Mary's eyes glisten. You stabbed us all first, Kody, the courtroom whispers, and Robyn begins to quietly sob into a tissue. Christine remains still, her face inscrutable, a combination of relief and grief. This was more than she anticipated. Narrator, dramatic pause, heightening tension. For the first time, the foundation of the Brown family isn't just cracked, it's collapsing in real time. The judge demands order once again. When the commotion dies down, the questioning continues. Mary, Christine's attorney, coaxes gently. Why did you remain silent so long? Mary's whisper is almost inaudible. Because I thought he'd change. I thought if I just kept believing he'd come back to us. But the man who told us he loved us turned into someone who loved control more. Kody's attorney cross-examines her aggressively, attempting to surprise her. Mrs. Brown, isn't it a fact that you and Mr. Brown have been emotionally separated for years? That your testimony is motivated by bitterness instead of reality? Mary doesn't bat an eye. Resentment doesn't create forged signatures. The courtroom hangs in stunned silence. Even the air conditioning drone is audible. Kody's demeanor finally breaks. You all think you know me? You think I'm the bad guy because I attempted to keep this family intact. You don't have a clue what it's like being the one holding it all. Christine finally breaks her silence, her voice steady but icy. No, Kody, you weren't keeping us together. You were keeping us down. The judge's gavel slams again. That's enough. Mr. Brown, you will be quiet unless spoken to. The moment is heavy, the tension in the room charged with pain and discovery. Narrator, slower, softer tone. In families founded on mutual faith, there's nothing more perilous than one individual determining they're the only one who's correct. Continuing with the session, Christine's attorney presents proof of the altered trust. The handwriting witness testifies, stating that at least 2 signatures were probably duplicates. One from Mary, one from Janelle. The crowd grumbles once more, cameras blinding. Robyn goes white, whispering hysterically to Kody. He rubs his temples, gritting, "They're distorting everything." Christine checks the clock. Only an hour into the hearing, and it might as well be an eternity. During recess, Christine stands by the hallway window, the gray morning light reflecting on the glass. Her lawyer approaches. You did good bringing Mary. That took guts. Christine shakes her head. She did it for herself. For all of us. Crossing the hall, Janelle glides up beside her. He's losing it, she whispers. Robyn's crying and he's pacing like a caged lion. Christine's gaze sharpens. He's not used to losing control. Narrator, firm, low. And that's when the real danger begins, when a man who's built his world on power starts watching it crumble. They return to the courtroom. The judge summons the next witness, a forensic accountant. He testifies that money from the family trust was used to buy a property deeded in just Kody and Robyn's name. Christine observes Robyn's reaction intently. Robyn's tears evaporate. In their place, anger takes up residence. She erupts. That house was for all of us. We just never finished getting the papers done. The judge reminds her to stay quiet. Kody tugs her hand down, whispering, "Don't make it worse." But harm is already inflicted. The lawyer offers last-minute exhibits of the day, emails between Kody and his financial advisor. In them, Kody refers to keeping assets safe from emotional wives. The judge's face furrows. Even the audience emits audible gasps. Kody clutches the table, his knuckles white. Those were private messages. You had no right, Mr. Brown, the judge interrupts him sternly. When you mix family property under a joint trust, there is no privacy in transparency. Narrator, soothing, echoing voice. It's odd how justice can sound so much like punishment, even when it's merely the truth finally catching up. The judge states the day's adjournment, instructing both sides to get ready for tomorrow's witness, a financial advisor Kody employed years ago. Christine's attorney smiles faintly. They already know what this witness will say. As people file out of the courtroom, Mary remains by the door. Christine walks up to her. "I didn't ask you to do that." "But thank you." Mary smiles weakly, red eyes. "I didn't do it for you. I did it because I'm tired of pretending we were ever whole." Christine nods, recognizing. "Then maybe this is how we start healing." Kody stands back, face set in a harsh mask, but eyes filled with something new. Fear. Narrator. Third shift. Ominous. And in that brief look, Christine sees it. The same terror that once silenced her now holds him. For tomorrow, the man he trusted more than anyone but his relatives will testify on the stand. And tell what even his wives did not know. Morning sunlight cuts through courthouse blinds, lighting the waxed floor like a stage ready to begin its next performance. Everyone breathes more heavily in the air today, like they all know today. Something important is going to happen. Christine sits quietly at her table, riffling through her notes though she's hardly looking at them. Janelle nods gently at her. Mary looks away from Kody altogether, her face a mask, but her eyes hold years of silent storms. Kody appears agitated. His attorney bends close, whispering frantically. Robyn is seated behind him, grasping her tissue as if it's the sole remaining shred of authority she possesses. The murmur in the courtroom recedes as the bailiff states, "Court is now in session." The judge straightens her glasses. "We will move forward with today's witness, Mr. Ethan Marks, financial advisor to Mr. Brown." The door swings open, and a neatly dressed tall man enters. His confidence is strained but calm. He doesn't look Kody in the eye as he walks to the stand. Christine looks at him intensely. This man, the Brown family's trusted money advisor for almost 10 years, is the only other human alive who might know more about the Brown family's finances. Christine's attorney begins softly. "Mr. Marks, how long have you worked for Mr. Brown?" 9 years ago, he responds. "I managed his family's business investments, property divisions, and trust fund management. And at that time," the attorney goes on, "did you notice any improprieties with the family trust?" Marks lets out a slow breath. "Yes, several." A murmur sweeps through the room. Kody bristles, his jaw tightening. Marks goes on. "At first, everything was split equally between the wives, as agreed upon. But 2 years prior to Christine's departure, Kody told me to establish what he referred to as a protective sub-account. It was designed, he said, to protect family assets." Christine leans forward. "Protective? From whom?" The lawyer nods. "Please specify, protect from whom?" Marks pauses, his gaze darting towards Kody. "From the other wives." Gasps spread through the courtroom like shockwaves. Robyn's head falls. Her tears well up again. Janelle mutters a soft curse under her breath. Mary's face is frozen in blank surprise. Kody bangs his hand down on the table. "That's out of context. You don't know what was going on," the judge shouts loudly. "Mr. Brown, calm down or I'll find you in contempt." Kody gasps hard, struggling visibly to hold it back. But the room feels it, the control he is losing minute by minute. Narrator, low, even tone. For years, Kody dictated the script. But now, for the first time, someone else was dictating his story, and it wasn't complimentary. Christine's attorney persists with the interrogation. "Mr. Marks, what was the intent behind this sub-account?" "It diverted some income from family businesses into an account with only 2 listed beneficiaries, Kody Brown and Robyn Brown." A gasp is heard. Christine's lips quiver, her hand clutching the table rim. "Are you telling us," the attorney prods, "that money due to all wives and children was being siphoned into a private account?" Marks nods, tears in his eyes. "Yes, and when I challenged it, he explained. It was to reward loyalty." Robyn erupts in soft sobs. He explained it to me as just saving for emergencies, she says in a hushed tone. The judge quiets her softly, but firmly. Christine cannot tear her gaze away from Kody. You built a family based on loyalty, and then you sold that loyalty for profit, she tells him, her voice shaking. Kody snaps back. You don't know what I had to give up in order to keep us together. You all left me. I had to defend something. Narrator, gentle but stinging. It's odd how the word protect has a different meaning depending on who uses it and what they're hiding. The attorney produces printed transactions, dozens of pages worth. The judge scans them quickly, eyes squinting. Mr. Brown, she says, these deposits amount to more than $400,000. Do you deny opening this account? Kody's attorney intervenes. Objection, partial evidence, overruled, the judge states firmly. Kody's chest heaves and falls with rage. Yes, I opened it. But it was my right to do so. They left me. They turned on me. Christine's attorney approaches him. So you acknowledge redirecting shared funds into an individual account in your name? Kody's eyes lock with hers, the words stuck in his throat. I acknowledge, he finally utters, voice cracking slightly. I acknowledge I needed to ensure Robyn and I were protected. She was the sole one who remained. The courtroom becomes motionless once more. No one even stirs. Christine's expression turns hard. You yourself told us all love isn't about playing favorites. You lied to all of us, the judge writes furiously. Mr. Brown, the court will examine this financial account in total. Any established misappropriation will be regarded as a violation of fiduciary duty. Kody says nothing. His eyes fall. His shoulders droop. For the first time, he's small. Narrator. Serious. Slow voice. The man who was once the father of a large family now seemed a defendant stripped of his dignity. Because in the eyes of the truth, all men stand equal. Christine leans back, her eyes glassy but unflinching. She doesn't gloat. There's no pleasure in seeing the truth hurt a man you used to love. There's only relief and mourning. Robyn speaks tremulously. Kody, deny it. Tell them. Just tell them, please. He doesn't respond. He can't. The judge orders a brief recess. The Brown family breaks up. Christine heads for the hallway by herself. Cameras click, reporters yell, Christine, did you know about the secret account? She continues walking, the heels clomping down the hallway. In the sound of the clomping, she can hear all the fights, all the arguments, all the late-night silences that brought her to this point. Inside the courtroom, Robyn ambushes Kody. How could you do this? You said it was for the family. Kody's voice is low and panicked. I did it for us, Robyn. I couldn't trust them. They were all drifting away. You were the only one who believed in me. But now no one believes in you, she whispers. Mary and Janelle walk by quietly, looking at each other. There's no triumph in their eyes, only fatigue. Narrator, reflective tone. There's no winning in war when the battlefield is made of broken hearts. When the session continues, Christine's attorney brings in the next item of evidence, a tape made privately. The projector in the courtroom comes to life. The tape is heard, Kody's calm, firm voice. If the family breaks up, Robyn and I will divide the assets. I constructed it, and I won't allow them to destroy it. Gasps for the second time. Robyn turns white. Christine appears shocked, her jaw quivering as she listens to the man she had staunchly defended now admit his motives. Kody bangs his fist on the table once more. That was a private discussion. You had no business. The judge speaks brusquely. You videotaped that yourself, Mr. Brown, during a family session. It was submitted by one of your children. A mutual stunned silence pervades the room. Christine gasps, covering her mouth, whispering, Oh my God! Kody glances around. Now aware. A member of his own family betrayed him to the court. Narrator, low, dramatic. And just like that, the case stopped being about money and became a hunt for truth inside his own home. The judge declares, Tomorrow the court will hear from a family witness, one of the Brown children. Christine's face blanches. She says in a barely audible whisper, No, they shouldn't have to go through this. Too late, however. The damage is done, and the following day holds something even more burdensome. Kody leans back, eyes wide with terror. His empire, his family, his reputation is crumbling. And this time, it's not the wives that are doing it. It's the truth his own child is about to tell. Narrator, last cinematic tone. The courtroom had witnessed rage, betrayal, and heartbreak. But what was about to happen would shatter more than trust. It would rip open the soul of a family in the eyes of the whole world. The courtroom is heavier today. Even the air appears to be struggling to move, as though it too has an intuition that something irreversible is in the making. The judge enters, her robe sweeping across the smooth wood floor like a shadow. Kody is at the defense table, his posture rigid, his eyes flicking between his lawyer and the three women facing him, Christine, Janelle, and Mary. Robyn is not present today. That by itself seems like its own testimony. First to stand is Christine's attorney, a calm woman named Ava. Her voice is smooth but sharpened with steel. Your Honor, today we plan to introduce evidence that will prove what my client has alleged all along: deception, manipulation, and misappropriation of family wealth. Kody's face stiffens. He leans in closer to his attorney. She's making it up. I never took anything, he whispers harshly, but the microphone picks up and distorts the words slightly through the speakers. The courtroom buzzes. Christine doesn't blink. She simply looks at him, quiet but unyielding. The way she holds onto the edge of the table says it all. She's waited for decades for this moment. Ava continues. We'll show a series of transactions from joint family accounts, money that was meant for all the wives and children, redirected for personal use. And we'll show who authorized it. The judge nods. Proceed. Screens light up with documents, bank records, wire transfers, text exchanges. Each image feels like a blow. The audience watches as one pattern becomes unmistakable. Kody's signature, always appearing where it shouldn't. Kody's attorney attempts to object. Those funds were communal. Objection overruled. The judge cuts in, firm in tone. Let the evidence speak. Christine finally breaks the silence with a voice. She rises, clenching a piece of paper, her hands quivering ever so slightly. This isn't about money, she insists. It's about trust. You told us everything you did was for the family. But this, she holds up the paper, was for her. The screen changes again. A document appears showing the down payment for a house, under Robyn's name. The same funds pulled from a family trust that Christine's daughter once depended on for tuition. Gasps fill the courtroom. Even Mary's hand flies to her mouth. Janelle shakes her head slowly, eyes brimming. Kody's attorney holds firm. Your Honor, this is out of context. The Browns' family situation was complex, and all expenditures were bargained for by parties. Then why? Christine demands, her voice rising for the first time. Did you not talk with us about it? Kody breaks his silence. Because you never wanted to create anything together. You simply wanted to take. You left, Christine. You all left me to pick up the pieces. The courtroom breaks out. Whispers, sighs, murmurs. Order is called by the judge, but too late. The emotional tempest has already arrived. Christine does not give in. No, Kody, we didn't leave because of the money. We left because you became the man we no longer believed in. You began defending one person, and it wasn't any of us. For a second, Kody appears to be on the verge of tears. But then he laughs, low and bitter. You want to portray me as a villain, Christine? Fine. But don't forget who kept this family together for 30 years. His words are suspended in the air. Janelle mutters something under her breath. You kept it together for you. The judge clears her throat. We will have a brief recess before proceeding. While the room is emptying, Christine remains seated, staring at the vacant place where Kody stood just a moment before. Ava leans over toward her. You did good. But the next section will be more difficult. Christine nods weakly. I know, because now we speak about the children. When the court resumes, the atmosphere is chillier. Janelle testifies this time. She tugs at the microphone and breathes out. We attempted to shield the children from the tension, she whispers. But they witnessed everything. The favoritism, the battles, the fear of voicing out. Her words cut into the silence. Kody wasn't a husband. He was supposed to be a father to everyone. But when things went wrong, he became a stranger in his own home. Kody looks at her, his face a mask. But the jerk of his jaw betrays him, Janelle goes on, her voice cracking. One evening, my son asked me why Dad just smiles when Robyn's present. What do you even say to that? Ava pauses. Mrs. Brown, did you ever feel emotionally manipulated throughout the marriage? Janelle pauses, tears welling up. Initially, no. I believed it was love. But after a while, I figured love should not make you feel little. The judge nods, taking notes. Kody squirms uncomfortably. As the cross-examination starts, Kody's attorney attempts to take command back. Mrs. Brown, in public, you've expressed that you endorse the family structure. Isn't it accurate that all of you consented to equal partnership? Janelle gives him a direct stare. We agreed on equality, not deception. The gallery whispers once more. This time, everyone can't help but notice the pattern. The wives' voices harmonize, their suffering coming together. The judge pronounces the day's end, but her voice is heavy. This court has heard enough today. Tomorrow we shall start going over testimonies on the children's care and custody issues. Christine gasps raggedly. Janelle tightens her grip. Even Mary, as subdued as she has been, does nod discreetly. Kody exits the courtroom without a glance back. Cameras flash, reporters call out questions. And yet, the scariest sound is the quiet space between ex-lovers who used to vow forever. As Christine exits, she pauses at the courthouse steps, taking in the throng of onlookers. This isn't revenge, she murmurs. It's release. The sun sets behind the courthouse. The camera glides upwards. The shadows extend long, like memories that won't go away. Morning sunlight pours in through the windows of the courtroom, cold and white. You can sense it, that stormy calm. The reporters are already seated, cameras at the ready, murmurs echoing off the marble. This is the day everyone has been waiting for. This is the day when truth no longer hides. Christine sits next to Ava, her attorney, hands folded in her lap tightly. Janelle and Mary sit just behind her, not a word, stiff. On the other side of the aisle, Kody comes in with Robyn. She's finally arrived, wearing a dark blue dress, hair back, eyes red, as if she hasn't slept in weeks. All eyes in the room move to her. The judge takes her seat. Today, the court will hear testimony from Mrs. Robyn Brown, she announces. Robyn stands, clutching a folded piece of paper. She looks at Kody, and for the first time in weeks, he doesn't meet her eyes. Something flickers in her expression. Fear, guilt, maybe both. Ava nods to her gently. Mrs. Brown, please tell the court what you've come here to say. Robyn gasps for breath. I never intended any of this to occur, she starts. Her voice cracks. I believed I was doing good. I believed love would mend what was already damaged. Christine blinks rapidly, then looks away. But Kody, he told me things that made me think I had to protect him. He said the others were going to leave him, to destroy him financially. He said the only way to save the family was to keep everything in my name. The courtroom falls silent. You can almost hear hearts pounding. Ava advances. You're talking about the house in Flagstaff, yes? Robyn nods. Yes, the one they claimed was purchased from the family account. But Kody assured me it was temporary, that once things stabilized, he'd correct it. He promised me. Kody's attorney stands at once. Objection, hearsay. The judge shakes her head. Overruled. Proceed. Robyn swallows hard. He told me if I loved him, I'd sign whatever he wanted me to. So I did. Gasps pass through the gallery. Christine's face blanches. Kody finally does speak, his voice low, indignant. That's not what went down. Robyn, stop distorting things, she spins to him. I'm not distorting anything. I'm relating to them what you told me, Kody. Her voice breaks, ringing out across the courtroom. You led me to think that you were rescuing the family, but you were rescuing yourself. The courtroom erupts into chaos as Kody bangs his fist on the table. You just don't get it. They all left me. I gave them everything and they turned against me. Christine rises abruptly, tears welling but her tone firm. No, Kody, we did not turn on you. You turned us against one another. There is a silence once more. Robyn stares down at the page in her hand, her tears falling onto it. There is something else, she whispers. Her lawyer signals for her to go on. I found this, Robyn says, handing the folded paper to Ava. It's an agreement Kody wrote, a private document he never filed. It gives him full control of all family assets if any of the wives withdraw emotionally or physically from the marriage. Christine's eyes widen. You had that the whole time? Robyn nods, shame etched on her face. I didn't know what it was. He said it was a precaution. I didn't know it was a weapon. The judge reads the document, frowning. Mr. Brown, is this your signature? Kody pauses. Then softly, yes. There's a silence. You can sense the weight of emotions bearing down on everyone. Ava's voice breaks into the quiet. Your Honor, this document itself indicates intent, control, manipulation, and coercion. My client and the others should be paid restitution for years of emotional and financial abuse. Kody's attorney attempts to interrupt, but Kody gestures him away. He rises to his feet, chest puffing. You all think I'm the bad guy here? I was just attempting to hold together a family that was already breaking up. Christine advances. Then why, Kody, did you do it behind our backs? Why not trust us? He regards her, actually looks at her, for the first time in years. Because I knew that if I didn't control it, I'd lose everything. And I did. For the first time, his voice breaks. The facade slips. Robyn begins to cry. Janelle blinks away tears. Even Mary glances away, jaw shaking. Now is the time, the emotional breakdown after all these years of silence. The kind of truth that won't set you free. It just halts the bleeding, the judge breathes out slowly. Mr. Brown, the court will accept this document as evidence. Under the circumstances, I'm imposing a temporary hold on all joint property until we reach a conclusion. Kody leans back in his chair. His hands are over his face. Christine, though trembling, stands firm. This isn't what I wanted. I didn't want to tear you down. I just wanted peace. For all of us. He drops his hands, glassy eyes. You believe that peace comes from revealing me? You believe this benefits the kids? She nods. I believe truth benefits everyone, even you. The judge adjourns the court. Reporters erupt into whispers, taking notes, clicking cameras. The court is filled with a sense of energy. Confusion, grief, incredulity. Outside, Christine steps into the sunlight, flanked by her supporters and cameras. Her face is serene, almost peaceful. A reporter yells, Christine, what do you want to happen next? She hesitates. Justice, she whispers. But not the kind that hurts. The kind that makes whole. As she turns and walks away, Robyn remains standing on the courthouse steps. She stands alone, shaking with her hands clutched. She mutters to herself, he said he'd never let it go this far. Her words are caught in the wind, delicate, almost gone. The camera stays with Kody as he walks out a few moments later, his eyes sunken. For the first time, he isn't angry. He's just defeated. He walks past Robyn without even looking her way, and in this moment, you see something profound. This isn't a courtroom battle. It's the funeral of a dream. The wives aren't battling for revenge anymore. They're battling for closure. The courthouse doors shut on them. But the reverberations linger. Voices of love transformed to survival. Of vows reworded by reality. As she moves away, Robyn remains behind on the courthouse steps. Shivering, alone, holding her hands together. She mutters to herself, he said he'd never allow it go this far. Her words get stuck in the breeze, delicate, on the verge of vanishing. The camera stays with Kody a few moments later, his eyes sunken. For the first time, he's not angry, only defeated. He walks by Robyn without even a glance, and in that moment, you understand something profound. This isn't just a courtroom battle. It's the funeral for a dream. The wives are no longer battling for revenge. They're battling for closure. The courthouse doors shut on them, but the echoes linger. Sounds of love redirected to survival, of vows reworded by truth.